You will do math in psychology. It takes 8 years, is very content heavy. Hi everyone, my name is Emily and today I'm going to be going through what I wish I knew before studying psychology as a degree at university. So for a bit of background, I am currently studying a Bachelor of Psychology honours at the University of New South Wales. This year I'm in my 4th year and so I'll be doing my honours, which means I'll be writing a 15,000 word thesis. So I guess coming out of high school and picking my degree, I actually wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. And if you feel that way, that is completely okay. But at that point in time, I did know I want to work in the healthcare sector, but I guess I chose psychology just because of how broad, versatile and practical it was, and I knew that you could have many different career paths, so if I changed my mind later on, I would be okay. I knew I could work in business, in HR, in law as a forensic psychologist, or just your traditional clinical psychologist, which is what I am aiming towards. Alright, so let's get on with the video. Number 1, how much reading and writing there is. So to begin with, I actually didn't know too much about psychology. In fact, in my first uni tutorial, the tutor mentioned Freud, and I feel like I was the only one in the class who hadn't heard of him before, which was actually a bit embarrassing. But besides that, psychology is very content heavy. You will be doing a lot of reading, especially research articles and literature reviews. For some subjects, you will get assigned readings on top of the research you have to do in your own time when you're writing your essays or research proposals. Sometimes this could range from a whole chapter in a textbook to even a 42-page research article. So make sure you are prepared and you do set aside time for that. And because of this, I definitely found myself learning how to speed read just to get through all the content. A useful tip if you don't have time to read a whole research article is to read the abstract, which will be at the top of the research paper. This is essentially one short paragraph that summarizes the whole research paper. I would also recommend you to read the introduction because this gives you a bit of context as to why they are conducting research in this area and why they're conducting this particular study. And finally, also reading the discussion, because in the discussion, the researchers will summarize their findings and they will also then interpret the results, which is super important. Another thing is English is super important. For me in high school, English wasn't really my favorite subject and I literally memorized every single essay for my HSC exam. So after that finished, I was like, yes, no more essays. But no, in psychology, you will be writing a lot of essays, a lot of research proposals. So you really need to know how to convey your argument in a very logical and articulate manner. And also, in psychology, they don't really teach you how to write essays in your first year. So I was pretty bummed when I got my first essay mark back and it was a credit. I recommend that you do talk to all the students, ask them how they structure their arguments, how they structure their paragraphs, what are they putting in their essays. You could even ask them to send one over just so you can have a look and read through so that you get an idea. Just make sure you do maintain academic integrity, of course, with plagiarism and collusion. 2, statistics. You will do math in psychology. Statistics is really important in psychology because when you are conducting a study, you need to collect data for your results. Then you will need to interpret these results to make sense of what they mean, what they may suggest, or what you can conclude from the study. At my uni, we have to do one statistics subject every single year in undergrad, but they really ease you into it. It starts off with like mean, median, and mode, but then from then on it gets like exponentially difficult. Talking about like Bonferroni, factorial designs, post hoc analysis, and etc. 3, grades matter a lot. I really say this in the context for if you want to do masters or if you know you want to pursue postgraduate studies in psychology, for example, a master's in clinical, forensic or organisational psychology. In Australia, if you do want to become a clinical, forensic or organisational psychologist, you have to have done an honours year to be eligible to apply for a master's program. At my university, to be eligible for honours, you need at least a 75 WAM and you're not even guaranteed a spot even if you have a 75 WAM. Usually they just take the students with the highest marks, and there's around 80 students each cohort per year. So if you do want to do honours, masters, or even a PhD, definitely focus on your grades and try to get them as high as possible. I would definitely recommend you to try your best from the get-go, from first year, when the exams and content is relatively easier compared to, say, third year. Number 4, the pathways to becoming a registered psychologist and studying psychology. It takes 8 years to become a fully registered psychologist in Australia. So the pathway to this is 3 years of undergrad psychology studies, then 1 year of your honours, and then doing a 2-year master program. This could either be clinical, forensic, or organisational psychology. And then after you finish your masters, you are a registrar for 2 years, which means you are under supervision of another psychologist. So it is a very long road ahead, and I don't think many people realise how long it actually takes when they first start out. But if you do know that you want to follow this pathway and you are really passionate about it, it will be rewarding and worth it in the end. Another thing to note is the variety of degrees in which you can study psychology through. At my uni, I believe there are 7 different undergrad degrees which you can study psychology through and end up at the same point, at the same pathway. So I really think it's important that you do research what degree is really suited for you and what you want to get out of your undergrad degree. 5. How useful psychology is in the workforce. As I've mentioned before, psychology is a very broad field. So whatever you learn in your undergraduate, you can almost apply it absolutely anywhere. Psychology is the study of human behavior after all. You'll definitely pick up skills that other undergrads might not have from studying different degrees, such as critical thinking skills. In psychology, we are always critiquing other people's research studies, and we're also always thinking of new innovative research ideas to delve into. You'll also enhance your teamwork skills. From my experience, I've done a group assignment in almost every single psychology subject I've done. So be prepared to work with other people, be open to collaboration, and take in viewpoints that other people have that you might not have thought of otherwise. You'll also develop analytical skills. Within statistics, you'll be analysing and interpreting data. All these skills are beneficial and can be applied anywhere in the workforce. Most people who actually study psychology don't end up being a psychologist. Most people end up working with organisations such as with human resources, even user experience or data analysis. The opportunities are really endless, and you can even go into research, which is pretty exciting. So if you're interested in psychology or just wanted to know what it's like studying psychology, I hope this video helped you in some way. Feel free to leave comments down below if you have any questions regarding psychology. Let me know what other content you'd like to see. Good luck with everything, and stay humble and grateful as always.